On August 10th, 2024, I started a challenge in which I'm trying to make $10,000 in 1 year with no full-time job. So far, I've made $3,220.22 using a variety of money-making methods, most notably soccer reffing on the weekends, opening a Facebook Marketplace store, and doing yard work for neighbors. It's been a grind. Some weeks have been better than others, but every dollar has taught me something new. Along the way, I've had to get creative, stay disciplined, and say yes to a lot of random opportunities. From early mornings on the soccer field to late night listings on Facebook Marketplace, I've been tackling this goal together one day at a time. And in this video, I'll be breaking down February and all the money I made in the month. Now, to start the month off, Allison wrote to me on Facebook Marketplace and asked if the action figures I were selling were available. I replied by saying they were and asked if she wanted to meet up to buy them. However, the only problem is that she lived in another state, nowhere near where I lived. But luckily, she said she was fine if I sent them to her in the mail. She said she would pay for shipping and everything would be fine. So I took the boxes to the post office and sent them off. Allison received the action figures and I received the $50. A few days after receiving the $50, someone on Facebook Marketplace wrote to me and said that they wanted to buy a lacrosse stick for $5. Now this is a lacrosse stick that I've tried to sell multiple times before at different sports stores for more than $5, but since it was broken in the shaft, nobody wanted it. So $5 on Facebook Marketplace, I will take any day. Now Mark was a really nice guy when I met up with him, except he didn't want me to record the transaction, which is completely fine and I totally understand. So I add $5 to the total. The following weekend, I wasn't doing much, so I asked my assigner or boss for refereeing to give me some Winter League games that I could referee. Now even though these games don't pay as much as the regular season, it's still a fairly decent income. The games were very uneventful, and in total, I got $160, just for a few games. The following weekend, however, I had no plans once again, so I asked for more games, and I did a few more. I'm back at the place I was reffing 2 weeks ago, and it's much warmer this time, and I'm not as cold, so that's great. Guys, I just got the field and I found something very exciting, and I still get excited to find these. The day started off well and everything was going great until this happened. Long story short, there was another no-show, and so I'm heading back to the car. I have an hour and a half before my next game. So I'm probably going to plan more videos and read some books that I brought. So, until then. On the bright side though, at least I got $60 for literally doing nothing, and I also found that penny from earlier, so that's great. So guys, I just woke up from being asleep for about an hour and my alarm went off on the phone, and it's already time to referee the other game. That was the fastest hour of my life. So I'm back at the same place about an hour later, and it's just about to rain. It's drizzling right now. So I'm looking forward to being wet and cold. All in all, I wasn't yelled at much this game, and it was competitive but relatively uneventful. I got $80 for that game instead of $70. They gave me 10 extra as a tip, and it went by pretty quickly, and now I'm heading home. So in total, that weekend I made $140 reffing. But then things got a little interesting. Now if you remember when I started the video, I said that I made money from a lot of random opportunities. Now this one you're just about to hear about is probably the most random of the challenge so far, and definitely the most painful. So one Friday evening, I was at a friend of mine from school's birthday party, and it was the time of the party when we finished eating and everybody was starting to dance. Now all the girls, as usual, were with the girls, and all the boys were with the boys. And the girls had a whole dance circle where they were vibing to a bunch of music, and the boys weren't really doing anything. So one of my friends looked at me and said, "Caden, if you jump in the middle of the dance circle of girls and start dancing and going crazy, I'll give you $1." And I was like, what? Who would do that? I said at least $2. So I jumped right into the circle of dancing girls, and I started going crazy, but then nothing was happening, and then it was awkward, and then I was like, I'm going to die, but then the boys came and saved me, as you can see from this picture. Now that by far was the most random and painful experience in the $10,000 challenge so far. So that was definitely and by far the most random and painful way I've made money in this $10,000 challenge. Now if you were to ask me, would you do that again for another $2, even though it was so painful and random, I would tell you absolutely. Now, a few weeks after the party, not much had happened until Drew wrote to me on Facebook Marketplace and was interested in my math block set. We ended up meeting up and I sold it for $30. And along with the $30, I made $1.26 by finding money off the ground, whether it's a penny at the gas station or a dime at the grocery store. Money is everywhere. And I've been keeping track of that money, as you can see from the screen. Now in August, I made $384.82. This was me primarily getting my Facebook store off the ground and doing summer soccer refereeing. Following August, September was my best money-making month so far because all the ways I was trying to make money were thriving. And I made $915.57. October was my second best month in the challenge so far. This is because I had a combo of yard work I was doing, reselling from stuff I find at thrift stores, and soccer reffing. Sadly, from 2 peak months in the challenge, November was my worst month. I was expecting another great month, but all my money making strategies were not working. All I pretty much did was organize my neighbor's house and sell a few things on Facebook Marketplace. After November, I had a really good month in December where I made upwards of $700. Because of Christmas season, a lot of things that were dead in November were starting to pick up again. So I did pretty much everything I could to make money except reffing and yard work. But to begin the new year, I started off very slow, almost making $300 in 1 month, similar to November. Because it was snow shoveling season, I got a lot of snow shoveling done and made hundreds of dollars doing that. That was my main source of income in the new year. Now finally, the month you've been waiting for. In February, I made $388.23. Now even though I didn't make as much as other months, I am still very pleased with the amount. And all that being said, this wraps up my month of February, in which I had wins, losses, and unexpected moments. Thank you all so much for following along. Keep the grind up, and I'll see you in the next video.